No emotions, straight in, manifest. Let's get to the bottom of this one. Unspoken truths that I miss one. Tap into the minds of the people, rather acknowledge before I dismiss one. Atheists, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, they all got usage. All got perspective, it's a collective. Get to the bottom where the truth is. Where the heart's uncovered. Where you detox from all of the lies you smothered. Where them tries could have killed you, but with faith you recover. Yup. Peel off the makeup, we finna take off. Never said it'd be a cakewalk. Meditate till we charged up. Execute goes regardless. Decalcify my pineal. Breaking language barriers, we saw millennials. Planets passing age rotations, down me we owe. So down me we know. Sometimes we can't be slow, that's why my ears open. Every drop you add could complete the ocean. Speak up, play your part too. Been vulnerable, it's so hard to reflect on all the Jews life taught you. It's on you, tell the truth.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kimberly with Unseen Twisted Truth. We have Jewsby in the building,
What's going on, everybody?
and then we have DDH that can't speak because he's at work, but nonetheless still here supporting. Henry is at a event, so he's not popping on. This was Kendall's suggestion. I don't know if she's going to pop on or not, but this was her show. She wanted to talk about the difference between unexpected illnesses and trauma. Do you know the difference between those, Dewsby?
Uh, I mean, it can be a broad spectrum of things, but I think I understand the difference.
Yeah, and a lot of people they think and label everything as trauma without realizing it's deeper than that. Because sometimes it might be something that like a tumor, or you're in your lower chakras, or something else could be happening that's underlying issue, and you don't realize it because you already basing it on trauma.
Right.
But yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about today. And then when I researched it, and what they said the difference between is that trauma can cause physical symptoms like allergies, skin sensations, and flare ups of eczema. Trauma can also lead to mental health issues like PTSD, anxiety disorder, mood disorder. Unexpected health issues can cause medically unexpected symptoms like muscles or joint pain or headaches or tiredness or stomach problems. Stressful life situations can make people who are sensitive to bodily changes even more sensitive. Trauma is an experience that perceived as painful or distressing and can involve witnessing or experiencing a threat to your life or limb. Common causes of trauma include physical assault, childhood neglect, emotional or verbal abuse, sexual violence, military conflict, racial threats, life threatening conditions, and much more. So, Trauma keeps you, this is my opinion, trauma keeps you in a lower vibrational state within your like root chakra, where you feel like you have a problem with grounding and not able to sleep and you're like you don't belong and stuff like that. Unexpected illnesses are much deeper than that. Unexpected illnesses, like a black chakra, can cause you to be fatigued and um, disconnected, oriented, and stuff like that. That can be from a black chakra also. But the chances of, not but nonetheless, the chances of something deeper could be going on with you. It could be something deeper, like a health issue that you didn't expect. She's wanting me to send the link again. I already sent it. I don't have it again. This is crazy. I was doing this ahead of time, and I had everything prepared ahead of time. Can't help it. It's this transfer of new different platforms. This one's not the greatest for us, and I try to be so professional, and it's not working. That's when you're on everybody else's time. Anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of different things. There's a lot of different things between trauma and unexpected illnesses. Seriously. Have you had or experienced somebody who had PTSD?
Not not firsthand. I've had a friend who's had a situation that they were in, and they were dealing with someone who suffered from it, but I've never experienced it personally, or from my own point of view before.
How about somebody that had to heal their inner child? Somebody that had childhood trauma. Have you seen that firsthand?
Yeah, yeah, I've seen that on a couple instances. It's kind of different, how you know certain people deal with that type of trauma because they've had to sit with it for such a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes complex, in a sense for them to kind of explain it, or trying to invite people into it. And in some instances, you have people who are comfortable with the fact that they've experienced trauma in their childhood, and it that alone helps them with embracing it, and expressing the idea of having to go through it with others a little bit easier.
Yeah, no, I agree too. And with the childhood traumas, it doesn't show off right away. You don't realize that you have that right away. Like PTSD, that could stem from something that happened to you. If something dramatic happened to you, 9 times out of 10, you'll end up having PTSD from it. Um, a lot of people don't know they have childhood traumas. A lot of people ain't quite aware that their childhood is affecting them.
Yeah, I agree. You definitely have a lot of silent sufferers, or people who who are in disbelief, or
Yeah.
don't know the symptoms, and they just figure that's how they deal with certain things. But In most cases, it could attribute, to certain traumas throughout their childhood.
And then to have an unexpected illness. I remember I worked in the medical field for years, and I always thought I just had a hernia, and I didn't realize what it was. I was really fit, in shape, exercised, did Taibo, jogged 5 miles a day and stuff like that, and I didn't realize that this lump inside my stomach was tumors, and I had three 10-pound tumors inside of me that were the size of grapefruits. Me, without knowing, I thought it was just a hernia from because I would lift people and do things that I shouldn't be doing. Um, when I found out that I had this illness, these tumors inside me, I went into the hospital, got them taken care of in emergency right away. They had a school come in because they were doing where the med students would go around different hospitals and they would, observe things that were going on. Well, a bunch of people come in and were asking me a bunch of questions that were students, and they were kept asking me, how come I didn't know? How come I couldn't tell? Well, I was born with arthritis, so I always had some form of pain. So I didn't know that the pain that in my body that was naturally there was different than a pain from an unexpected illness. Can you receive that? So when people are accustomed to things and they're already dealing with it every single day, it's hard for them to discern between something that is killing them on the inside that or has the potential to kill them on the inside when they're already dealing with pain every day. I know a lot of people that have MS or Crohn's or some other kind of disease, and they're constantly in pain, constantly in pain. So then when if something else was to happen to them, they couldn't discern between the two. They couldn't tell the difference between the two because they're, like I said, they always were in pain. So they waited a long time. They let it go for so long. I know someone that let a cough go for so long, and then when they finally went to the doctors, and I'm talking years, at least 10 years, when they finally went to the doctors, or maybe I exaggerate a little bit, but it's been years. It was at least 7. And when they finally went to doctors, they found out they had esophagus cancer, stage 4. And they say if you would have known ahead of time, we could have treated it quicker. Sometimes you can't tell that something's going on within you, especially when you're dealing with trauma. So yeah, like a lot of people are walking around here with natural pain from everyday things that they're not healing, and they're not knowing the difference when an unexpected illness comes. You deal with the loss of someone you love that was really close to you and that all you had was them, and then you go and find out something's wrong with your health on top of it. And they don't realize they go hand in hand because sometimes stress causes a lot of health issues. So yeah, like I said, this really wasn't my subject to talk about. Kendall wanted to talk about it, but she's not on. So we're just going to briefly touch base on it. I'm not going to spend 2 hours on here talking about it. I don't really know what to say more than, it really sucks dealing with trauma and then having unexpected illness on top of it. Because, like I said, stress causes a lot of issues. Lack of sleep causes a lot of issues. You could be fatigued and moody and whatnot and not realize that it's more than just you being in your head, that it's also something else going wrong. But I'm the type that I don't like going to the doctors. I don't go there often. So I'm not in pain anymore. Once I learned and I was able to remove things that weren't of me for food wise and stuff, and I fasted and stuff, I took all that food that was actually literally hurting me worse and causing the inflammation and stuff of my arthritis. I removed that stuff from my body. And when I removed that stuff from my body, my arthritis didn't hurt as much. And even though I was born with it, and it was rheumatoid arthritis, it traveled throughout my joints and stuff. I'm able to do things that I never used to be able to do because I removed the food that was causing most of the mucus and poison within my body. So sometimes changing your diet may make a difference. Changing your environment will make a difference. Remove yourself from situations that aren't of you. Like, allow peace in your life because there's the only thing you can control. I had a friend of mine who has PTSD, and he asked me a question, and I'm not going to go too deep because I don't want to talk about people, but he asked me a question today, and they were like, so you think my depression is a choice? And I said, because I see how strong you are when you are on that high of thinking that you can walk on, not thinking, but knowing that you are powerful, knowing that you have a purpose, that high of loving yourself from the high vibrations of life, like the frequencies, to it's not really a choice more than an uncontrolled mental state that once you learn how you probably can control it. So, I don't think that we have control over something we know nothing about. Once we are aware of it, though, and once it's revealed to us, for us to not control that, it's kind of a choice. It's kind of a choice. Knowing that we are manic depressive, knowing that we are going without sleep and our appetites change and whatnot because of our mindset, why do we still allow it to happen? Why can't we take control over our mind and let it become the tool that it's supposed to be instead of letting it overpower us? Do you receive what I'm saying, Jewsby?
Yeah, I heard you. I was getting phone calls. I
Oh,
apologize.
okay.
But yeah, I totally agree. You definitely have to take care of yourself. That's the most important thing. What you intake, what you consume yourself with. All these things play a factor. In the trauma. That sometimes we create in our own lives. In addition to, some of the unexpected things that we may go through. But um, at the end of the day, you always have a choice. You can do things the right way or you can do things the wrong way. But either way, you're gonna pay for your decision. So
Can you see what she says across the screen? It's too small and I can't read it.
yeah, it says exactly. I'm wondering from what I've been going through. With regards with my brother's death date that's coming up in a few weeks, my body was triggered from stress, trauma, and now I'm finding out I might need surgery or not. With the grief of depression, it can trigger situations that are unnoticed. It's so important to get yourself checked up, not knowing you may have serious illness or not.
I agree. I agree. I
For sure.
agree. And she said it's old habits. So, what part of it is old habits, though? Like, what part's old habits? The part of the being comfortable in the depression, that's old habits? Is that what you're saying, Kendall? Because sometimes when you have PTSD, like from the war and stuff like that, um, you don't know what triggers it. How we try to do change, or how we try to change. Because some people don't know how to change, and some people are more comfortable with they can change when it comes to uh, with their situation, their environment and stuff. But when it comes to their mental state and it comes to depression and stuff, that's a different kind of change. That's powerful. And a lot of people don't have that power to be able to control it like that. A lot of people don't have that. Maybe because they're unaware what they have to do. They don't realize that every day that they have a choice. And that's what it is. We have a choice. We don't have a choice with PTSD. We don't have a choice with what we allow in our surroundings when it comes to how it affects us when we're young and whatnot. But as we get older and as we are able to remove the agreements that were no longer of us, that are somebody else's belief system, as long as once we are able to remove that, then we have a choice and we are able to control it because we can see it. But if we are not aware of it, like Jusby said earlier, if they don't realize what's going on with them because they're not aware of it, they may not know. We know PTSD and what it's caused from. If we have it, we usually know what caused it. But that with that being said, that mental state though, that depression mental state though, how can you control it if you don't know how to? If you don't know the tools to change, you might not be afraid of change. Maybe change isn't the issue. Maybe it's you don't know where to start. You don't have the proper tools or education or knowledge to be able to change it. I remember I had childhood trauma. And I remember as I got older, I wasn't aware of it. I didn't realize that I made excuses for things because I rather made excuses than acknowledge the fact that I did it and let it be because I did it. I can't undo it. I did it. So instead of just accepting the fact I did it, I made excuses for what I did. But it needed no excuse. It needed none. It didn't make the situation any better at all if I tried to make and have an out for it. Yet I still did it. And then I realized the reason why I did that is because it was passed on to me because my mom used to do that. She would constantly do that. And I knew no better because I thought that was normal. And once I was aware of it and I done that shadow work and I sat with myself long enough to know that that's not of me, I was able to fix it. But that mind, controlling that mind, that's the hardest thing to be able to do. I don't think that I would have been able to do it if I didn't go on that fast. That fast has taught me so much discipline. And then starting my ethers at the same time, it's very tedious. Growing ethers. It's very time consuming and you got to put a lot of work into it. You can tell those that care about their hair and those that don't. And I was able to get inside my head and meditate. I was able to really do some soul searching within myself and to stop making excuses, stop blaming myself for things, stop worrying about judgment, stop judging myself, stop feeling like, I'm the problem. I was able to fix a lot. But nonetheless, just now I always want to stop saying but it comes out naturally because I'm accustomed to it because I grew up with that word. Even though I know what it means. And it's it's like a paradox to me, but yet I still end up using it often. That's how it is with depression. Even though we know that it's not good for us, and we may know the tools to stop it, we're still so comfortable with it because that's what we allowed ourselves to do for so long that it's hard to find the tools to be able to control it. Do you receive that, Drewsby?
For sure, for sure. Uh, it's well, the old habits thing. I think we all fall victim to it. So it's really a process. I mean, you can't expect too much change too soon. But the most important thing about change is embracing it and seeking change. In order to develop, the culture that you're looking for in your life. It's not always one size fit all solution. It's definitely going to take some time, from you sitting with it and, really diving deep into who you are, figuring out what it is that you value the most and, making those changes in order, to really, really see progress. But, like I said, it's just going to take time. If you want to see change, all you have to do is promote that and, gradually things will change for you.
And it's baby steps too. It's baby steps. Those little teeny baby steps are monumental. They may not seem like they are, but when you're able to change one mindset, you can change 1,000. It's that first step of being able to have that control. It's just like an addiction. It's no different than that. I wanted, and I still have an issue with the foods and the sweets and stuff like that. It still calls my name, even though I don't eat refined sugars and stuff like that. There's other things that you indulge in that are not good for you, just indulging in it, even if it is healthy food. To have that commitment and willpower. Once you start doing it, don't stop because it's hard to retain it again. That's exercise, that's healthy habits, that's a routine within yourself, that self-discipline. Once you stop, it's hard to maintain that again. You got to stay with it. It's all about consistency. And don't let one bad day change your whole entire life. Give yourself grace and realize that, you're trying and doing the best you can. For real. Because we're all doing the best we can. Just know, though, that you're not alone. I had to do a bio, and they asked me about the podcast and whatnot, and what would my bio be. So I wrote up this bio. Let me see if I'm able to read it. But I wrote up this bio, and it took me a while because I wanted to use the proper words that would resonate with people, that really resonated with me, that I felt correct within self. And I come to realize this is here. Here's the bio. It says, "My name is Kimberly Vertican, better known as Miss Kimberly. It all started with removing what is not of me to allow what is for me." And the fast means something to me. That was the hardest thing I ever could do. Once I was able to do that, I realized I could do all, whatever I set my mind to. Denying something that you think you have to have, denying something that you think you need to survive, because we all think we need to eat to live. It's one of those things, that agreements they put upon us and that we believed. So what I said, it all started with the 40-day fast. And my friend Bradley told me I should start a podcast, and I agreed. During meditation, the universe gave me the name Unseen Twisted Truths. And I cut that down as short because it's for, this bio is for a magazine. And what happened was, I was talking to somebody because I had a lot of different people come in and out my life that the universe brought into me for reasons, in seasons. And someone told me that their sister was writing a book called Unseen something truth. Unseen, or no. Yeah, Unseen Truths. That's what it was called. And I was like, that's pretty dope. I like that. I said, I wonder if I could use that. And I started thinking, and I was like, I think if I add something to it, I'd be able to use it. And then in my bio it says, then the image of the three monkeys was born, with a see no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil. We've been lied to from day one and silenced with a forced narrative of ignorance to not trust what we see or hear, nor speak on what we know. No one wants to stand alone to speak on the truth. So I was gifted my co host, Henry. And I started thinking, they twist things up. They want us to believe the narrative they want us to believe, and they twist the truth. They twist it all the time so it can fit their narrative, so it can fit their subjective thinking, so it can look good on their end. And that's where unseen twisted truth came from. And they don't want us to speak on what we know. And they want to act like we're blinded by it. And they want to keep us delusionalized. They want to keep our minds twisted. Because once we are able to untwist our mind and we are able to have that control over self, it's monumental. It's like endless. The possibilities are crazy what we can do once we free ourselves, though. The number one cause of most diseases is mucus. Mucus from what we eat, what we allow ourselves to ingest in our daily causes mucus. Mucus causes a lot of problems within our body. That's why when you're sick, it's like your nose is never ending. It's just constantly running. It's because it fulfills our whole body. It fills up all of our body, our joints and everything. It just all of our glands, everything is filled with mucus. I need to get better with eating. I'm forgetful on a good day, so I set reminders to keep up with my health in situations and etc. When we're younger, we do a lot of dumb things to our body. Before my son's accident, he acted like he was immortal. Drove fast, felt like he had control over everything around him. And then when someone ran a red light and he hit them dead on, he could have died. His car looks like a tin can from the front. The side bags, everything. He had a 2000 Mustang. Just a little thing. All fiberglass though, and it crunched up. And it was a big Chevy truck that hit him. Or that he hit because they ran the red light. And now he realizes that tomorrow is not promised and he is not immortal. He thinks differently now. He has a little bit of PTSD to drive. We don't realize how important our life is until it's almost taken from us. We start appreciating things more that we took for granted. So that's how it is with our health and our body when we're younger. When we're younger, we go without sleep all the time. We barely ate right, especially when we had our mindset. You and I are Capricorn, so we're really driven. We're business driven. And when we have something inside, like goals and stuff in our head, nothing's going to stop us. You agree?
Most definitely.
And we go without sleep, go without food, go without the things that are proper for ourselves, eating the proper food because we're picking up stuff quick and easy because at least we ate something. It doesn't matter what it was. At least we put something in our body. And that's not fair because that's not how it should be. Because now that we're older, we got to pay for that. And the older we get, it's not as easy to burn that fat off. It's not as easy to, your metabolism not the same. You really need sleep. Like drinking. I remember when I was younger, I could drink and drink and drink and not have a hangover. And then I started slowly getting hangovers. And then I had to pay for it 3 days afterwards as I got older. And I realized it really wasn't worth it. But yet we don't think of those things when we're younger. We don't think of that when we're doing sports. I didn't think of it when I was at work, help and just picking up people and just I was hard on my body. Even constantly jogging outside on the cement is not good for you. Now I have shin splints and stuff like that, and because once you start, it's hard to go back to it. And once you start again, you realize what you ruined and damaged within your body by not properly stretching, drinking enough water, putting the right protein and stuff in your body for you to exercise. They never tell you. They just tell you to go exercise. They don't say, yet, be careful when you're jogging outside on cement because it's going to cause problems to your joints and your knees. They don't say that to you. They just tell you to go jog. And just eat something. At least you ate something. Now it's watch what you eat. Watch what kind of water you drink. Watch, what we put in our body from hand sanitizer to shampoo. Food. I just seen a thing where they said that a lot of their food looked like it was plastic, including the spinach. It would bubble up and stuff. I seen a thing where watermelon was foaming. We got to be careful now with what we put inside of ourselves all the time now. Because we can't trust anything that someone says to us. It's
That's,
illusion. Go ahead.
no, that's crazy.
It's true though, right?
Yeah, most definitely. I've heard a lot of things about the food too, so um, yeah, you definitely have to have a cautionary eye on anything you get from the supermarket nowadays.
Yeah. And like they make all that colorful stuff that the kids are attracted to, and none of it's healthy. And we put our kids through this, and our kids like it. So at least they're eating something. Not realizing we're putting metals in their body. They just did a recall on chicken because it had metal in it. How can an animal get metal inside of it? It's what you're feeding it. It's a chicken. The chicken ain't opening up something to eat the wrong things. It's in the grains. It's in the grass or whatever you're feeding that chicken. That's insane. But yeah, we got to be careful what we're doing now in this world. I can't tell you what's true. I can't tell you what's fake. All I go is on my opinion because I don't know what's real and what's not. So, Jewsby, on a whole nother topic, because this wasn't my topic, it was somebody else's, and I thought she was going to come on. Let's tell everybody what you got coming up. Do you got anything that you're dropping, doing, or anything?
I got an EP coming out in December. Nothing, nothing before then. Should be a performance coming up towards the end of this month as well. But I have more details soon.
Okay, that's what's up. So, where can they find you, and what do they find you at?
Utilize your Googles, JUZBY. Everything pops up. YouTube, Facebook. All the music is on. Every DSP available. Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, that sort of thing. Yeah, pretty much just staying busy, staying working, and staying out the way mainly. There's been a lot of things going on. Hopefully, everybody went to vote. Um, that's the most important thing. So, most definitely get out there and go vote. Um, it's time to it's time to take the country back and put it in the right direction again because there's been a lot of craziness going on.
Okay, okay. Anyways, with that being said, I'm gonna wrap this up. I don't know. Henry's at an event tonight in Port Huron. He's got a song coming out. We're doing a song for uh abuse and trauma, or no, abuse and drug and alcohol abuse in recovery. That's what it's for, and it's going to be Henry's song. It's pretty dope. I gave a sneak peek of the hook, and he's got a verse put on it yet. He's gonna have Max the Misfit on it, who is in recovery right now. Skylar Ray, who was on our show last week, and he's 6 years, December 6th, sober. So yeah, they're gonna be on that song with Henry, and it's a pretty beautiful song, very beautiful. Henry's a dope artist, and Unseen Twisted Truth is gonna publish it. Um, but yeah, so love one another, love yourself first and foremost, and support yourself, or you can't expect somebody else to. And be mindful. Be mindful of yourself and your surroundings and your actions and feelings. And go get checked up. We're living in this realm at this present moment. So be cautious and mindful of it and do your part. All right. May everybody's night be full of positive energy and high vibrations. Thank you for coming on, Jewsby.
For
Peace
sure.
and love.
Uh,
Peace and love.
Peace.
Peace.